he turns down God. In the land of Egypt, during the time of great empires, a single leader refuses the command of the Lord. Watch how God proves his power through a terrible, ordered judgment. Moses is a man warned by desert years, called by God from a bush of fire to lead his people. He speaks with trembling authority because he knows the cost of confronting power. Pharaoh sits on a throne of carved stone and gold. His heart hardens because he sees his nation through the lens of power and pride, not humility before the living God. As the previous scene fades, Moses and Aaron stand before the river and stretch out the staff. The Nile, Egypt's lifeblood, runs blood. Fish die and the stench rises. This plague attacks Egypt's foundations and challenges Pharaoh's gods of the river. In that moment, frogs swarm from the Nile into palaces, ovens, and beds. The nation is mocked by a creature no priest can repel. The plague exposes the emptiness of Pharaoh's control over everyday life and ritual purity. As the dust settles from the frog-stirred chaos, Aaron strikes the dust, and it becomes gnats. They bite and crowd faces. Even the magicians admit they cannot stand before this. The plague shows that some things only the Lord can order. As the previous gnats fade, swarms of flies descend. They torment the people and the land. But a strange separation appears. Where the Israelites dwell, the plague spares. The judgment is precise, aimed at chipping away Pharaoh's presumed invulnerability. As flies diminish, a disease breaks out among the Egyptian livestock, and many beasts die. Egypt's wealth and food supply are wounded. The Hebrews' animals remain undiseased, signaling that the judgments are not random, but purposeful and moral in scope. In the wake of dead cattle, painful boils break out on people and animals across Egypt. Priests cannot heal this affliction. The physical suffering underscores that cosmic disorder now touches the bodies of a nation that rejected God's demand for justice. As boils subside, a storm of hail rips through the sky. Fire mingles with ice. Crops and chariots are shredded. Those who trust in earthly strength suffer. Again, the land that trusts its own gods is humbled, and Pharaoh's pride is bruised. As hail ends and silence falls, a choking host of locusts arrives. They strip every plant the hail left. Egypt's food supply collapses. The plague functions as a judgment against nations that trust in fertility rites and earthly abundance rather than the God who gives life. After locusts, a profound darkness blankets Egypt for 3 days. It is not mere cloud cover, but a heavy, palpable night. Even the palace falls blind. This darkness symbolizes the spiritual blindness of those who refuse God, while Israel experiences a contrasting protection. When darkness lifts, Moses returns to warn that a final judgment is coming. He instructs Israel to prepare a lamb and mark their doorframes so death passes over them. This becomes a sign of covenant protection rooted in obedience and sacrificial life. As the final night arrives, the Lord strikes the firstborn across Egypt. Houses that obeyed are spared. In Pharaoh's palace a royal son dies, and a great cry shakes the land. This decisive blow reveals the cost of hardened rebellion against God. In the aftermath, Pharaoh is broken. He summons Moses and commands the Israelites to leave. The nation that once boasted of power now flees with haste, loaded with Egyptian silver and gold given in fear and sorrow. As Pharaoh releases them, a mixed throng of Israelites departs with haste into the wilderness. They carry the spoils of Egypt and the weight of decades of bondage. The Exodus begins as an act of liberation that will shape Israel's identity. But before the first day ends, Pharaoh's heart hardens again. He pursues the fleeing people with chariots and horsemen. Pride and humiliation clash. He seeks to reclaim control, unaware of the divine purpose about to be fulfilled at the sea. When the crowd reaches the sea and the Egyptian army closes in, terror rises. Israel faces a sea before them and chariots behind. Moses stands in the middle, raising his staff again, trusting the Lord to act in the moment of ultimate crisis. As the army approaches, Moses stretches his hand over the sea, and the waters roll back. A dry path opens through the deep. Israel crosses amid a terrifying display of power. The miracle confirms that liberation is not by human strength, but by God's direct intervention. When Israel is safe on the far shore, Moses lowers his hand, and the sea returns, swallowing chariots and horsemen. The army is destroyed. Pharaoh's last resistance is judged. The event teaches that God's deliverance can mean deliverance for some and judgment for others. After the sea, Israel sings and remembers. The people learn that God acts to fulfill promises and to judge injustice. The Exodus becomes the defining memory of a people formed by suffering, obedience, and divine rescue. In the end, Exodus 7-12 teaches that God defends the oppressed and judges hardened power. The plagues reveal his sovereignty and the cost of resisting him. If this story moved you, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and tap the bell so you do not miss the next one.